Okay, this is chapters 61 through 65 of Lock the Doors. 61. Stop looking. The words are carved into our icy car window, their edges trickling in the early morning sun. I quickly scrape them away before Jay sees, then curse myself for not taking a photo. It's my job to de-ice the car before school, and someone clearly knows. Either that or they don't care who sees. Was this Will? Did he sneak out early after what happened last night? Or did he tell Amy and this was her way of warning me to stay away? Or is it worse than that? Did Jane or Chris see me standing below their son's window and find scraps of my message and take matters into their own hands? I walk to the edge of the street and stare at their house. The gate is closed, but both cars are already gone. It could have been any of them. Chris leaves for work early while Jane takes Amy and Will to school. Whoever it was, it means I'm right. Mom would say I'm making something out of nothing, but this is proof that they're rattled. This is the type of warning only bad people send. Or scared people. Morning, someone says behind me, and when I turn, our neighbor, Mrs. Hawkins, is putting her trash out. Hi, I say, and then because it's worth a shot. Did you see anyone in our driveway this morning? She thinks for a moment. There was someone, yes, but I couldn't see their face. It's cold, see? I thought it was one of you with your hood up. She points at our window and says, I should have known better. They were looking through your window. I stifle a shiver. Could you tell me how big they were? I'm sorry, love. I didn't get a good look. Is it something to worry about? No, I lie. Everything's fine. Mrs. Hawkins nods and creeps back to her front door. Whoever she saw didn't just leave the message. They were watching us. Is it payback? Do they know how much I can see from my bedroom window? Or have I pushed too hard and they're looking for different reasons? The problem is I can't stop now. I'm onto something and someone is trying to stop me. If I was hoping for a sign that I'm right, it was drawn in the frost, now melting at my feet. 62. Amy teaches bad parents a lesson. That's what she told me. But do you need to change a kid's clothes to do that? People wear disguises to escape. They hide the truth in something else, like a kid who's not yours in a mustard-colored coat. If I hadn't stopped her, would she have taken that boy from the shopping center? I should have let it play out. I should have watched Amy from afar, not walked head first into her game. And then I'd know, because I'm not sure if she was giving that mom a brief moment of terror or something worse. Maybe she was planning on making that boy disappear long enough for the lesson never to be forgotten. The thought makes me dizzy and I wait for Amy to walk across the courtyard, then run after her. Hi, I say, and she turns without smiling. Hello. It sounds strange, and I wonder if she stopped trusting me the moment I walked out of her brother's bedroom. Or was it when I passed him a note asking for a truth Amy couldn't give? Someone wrote a warning on our car window today. I drop it in the space between us and see what damage it does. But Amy just creases her eyebrows and says, What kind of warning? Okay, I'll play. It said, stop looking. That's weird. What do you think it means? I think I've pissed someone off. Amy looks over my shoulder and says, It wouldn't be the first time. What? I saw you come out of Will's room. You were snooping. You think my family's hiding something and it upsets me. Enough to send a warning? Amy's face changes instantly. Her eyebrows narrow, her lips curl downward, and she practically growls at me. You think that was me? You said it yourself. I was snooping. But there's nothing to find, Tom. You can look all you want. I don't care. A tear falls down her cheek, and once again, I wonder if I'm wrong about all of this. When we're apart, I know for certain that I'm onto something. But when we're together, I doubt everything. Amy looks betrayed. I pissed her off when I snuck into Will's room. But blaming her for the message on our car window, it looks like I've gone too far. I don't think she knows about the note I wrote him. She's angry because I still doubt her. And the only thing I know for certain is that one of us is right. Either Amy's a great actress or I'm digging a hole I'll never get out of. If Will isn't prepared to help, the only way to find out the truth is to get back into that house. I need to keep Amy on my side or risk carrying these questions forever. I'm sorry, I say. I believe you. A moment of surprise flickers across her face, quickly replaced by an uncertain smile. You do? Yes. Amy reaches for my hand and squeezes it, and I flash back to when her dad did the same. When he shook my hand, he was warning me. He held it too hard and too long. But Amy's grip is only just there, sitting in my palm so gently that I can't tell where her skin ends and mine begins. She's happy again, and I wish that was the end of it. I wish I didn't have this nagging doubt. Because if there were no holes and no words and no carvings, if there was no creepy brother and no ice warnings to spur me on, I could fall in love with her. My head spins at the thought, but it's true. Amy is amazing. There are moments with her when I understand why Mom and Dad framed that raffle ticket and why they clung to the magic until it leaked through the cracks. When I'm with her, I feel. But I can't let that win until I know if I'm making a mistake. I would hate myself forever if the first girl I fell for was in trouble and I chose to ignore it. If I can convince Amy to trust me, she might invite me back to her house. And if she does, I won't waste my second chance to help. 63. I'm so tired after school that I dump my bag in the hall and am on the third stair before Mom calls, "Tom, come in here, please." That's the voice she uses when she wants to impress someone, and I hear another voice I can't quite place, then my mother's nervous laugh. It's only when my hand is on the kitchen door that I realize who's behind it. I could leave, but the door is already creaking open. Mom turns and says, "Hi, darling. Good day at school?" I don't answer because Amy's mother is sitting opposite her, a cup of tea in her hand and a fixed smile on her face. "Look who's here," Mom says. Jane says, "Well, how often do you get the chance to revisit your old house for a cuppa?" Mom laughs, but she doesn't mean it. I can tell she's thrown by this visit and is hoping Jane doesn't judge her for the unwashed plates and the pile of clothes that it's Nia's job to sort. First, Amy comes over unannounced, then, now, her mother. But this feels different. After the warning on our car, I can't help wondering. "I like what you've done with the place," Jane says, and while Mom thanks her, I can see the sarcasm in her eyes. "We haven't changed much," Mom said. "You did such a good job decorating." "But you've made a few changes upstairs," Jane says. It's not a question, and I wonder what else Amy has told her. I haven't said anything yet, and Mom is looking anxious, so I say, "We stripped the wallpaper in my room, and we might change the doors." Mom gives me a funny look. "I don't think so, Tom. The doors are fine." But I'm watching Jane. The tiniest grin tickles the corner of her mouth before she says, "We never did get around to the upstairs. Well, I tell a lie. We decorated our room." She winks at Mom, and they share a laugh that sounds so fake that it sits in the air for a few awkward seconds too long. Amy said her dad decorated her room. Now Jane is saying he didn't. "You'll have to come over when it's all done," Mom says. "I'd like that." "They should come for dinner," I say. Mom looks terrified because that's a lot bigger than boiling a kettle, but I've suddenly had an idea. If Amy's family do have secrets, they're more likely to be found where they are buried. I might not be able to get Chris or Will to talk, but Jay won't take silence for an answer. Chris won't be able to just wander off and stare at the TV. And Will. "We should do it on a Saturday," I say, "when Aaron's here. I think he and Amy's brother would get along." My brain is working so fast that my mouth can't keep up. But this is perfect. I was so desperate to get back into Amy's house that I ignored the obvious. We take the Pierces out of their comfort zone. We force them to make a mistake. And even if they don't, I could learn something. This isn't what Jane expected. I could tell by her face that she enjoyed catching me by surprise. If she was the one who left the message, this was her attempt to finalize it. But I'm not as weak as she thinks. Neither of us are, even if Mom is struggling to say anything now that I've invited a bunch of semi-strangers over for dinner. "That would be lovely," Jane says, finishing her tea in one gulp and standing up. Nothing to me. "We'll let you know," I say. Mom adds, "Yes, it will be lovely." When Jane's gone, Mom turns to me and says, "What was that?" "I'm just being nice. It's called returning the favor." "So are you going to cook?" "If you want me to." Mom smiles because we both know that's a terrible idea, and she'll want to show off her skills. "It's just, I didn't think you liked that kind of thing. I was surprised you accepted their invitation. You told me you didn't like Amy." Mom knows me better than anyone. That's why she's looking at me with suspicious eyes. But she'll only agree if she thinks I'm genuine, so I say, "I do like Amy," which is not a lie, and I like her family, which is a lie. "I just thought it would be nice." Mom tilts her head. "She seems nice." I'm glad she focused on the truth, even if the chances of Amy being my girlfriend for more than one amazing afternoon could fall to 0 if I force her parents to slip up. 64. "Whose stupid idea was that?" Nia asks. She can't stand still, and she keeps tossing out evil looks like they're grenades and we're the enemy. "Don't say mine, don't say mine, don't say." "It was Tom's idea," Jay says, "and I think it's a good one." Nia turns all her anger on me. "Saturdays are our night. It's Aaron's night." "And this one will be too," Jay says, "but it's nice to meet new people." I don't want to meet new people. I'm happy with the people I know. When Nia gets like this, Jay calls it regressing. He says she's acting like a kid, but she's not. She's being a big sister, upset that the one night with her brother has been changed without her permission. I'm sorry, I say. I'm not friends with Amy anymore, so this is going to be super awkward. That's not what I'm hoping for. I hope it's so awkward that Jane or Chris slips up. If you're forced to talk for long enough, eventually something important comes out. Is this about those fucking carvings? My stepsister says. Nia, says Jay, enough. If she hadn't sworn, Mom would have asked what she meant. But Jay raises his voice so rarely that when he does, he sucks everyone else's from the room. Nia goes upstairs and slams her bedroom door. She'll get over it, Jay says, but I can't take that chance. If this is going to work, I need her on my side, so I knock until she answers and say, I know you hate me right now, but please hear me out, and if you still hate me afterward, I'll convince Mom to cancel. Nia doesn't reply, but she doesn't slam her door either. I tell her about the warning on the car and how uneasy I felt at Amy's and how, if she lets me, we could finally trip them up. Are you done? Nia asks, and when I nod, she says, I love Aaron more than anything. I know. So if I'm going to give up an evening for a bunch of randoms, it better be worth it. If you're wrong... She doesn't finish the sentence, but I know what she means. If I'm wrong, I've wasted her time and dragged people into a horror story of my own making. I've spent hours talking and stressing about something that's not true. But if I'm right, that's what I cling to as I thank Nia and go to my room and ring Zach. I have a job, I say. How good are you at climbing walls? 65. Are you trying to get my whole family arrested? That's a bit of an exaggeration, I say. Your brother only handed over a note. What about me? Zach asks. Well, you could be arrested. Fucking right I could. You want me to break into Amy's house while her entire family are eating dinner at yours? How long have you been planning this? A couple of hours. Zach laughs down the phone. I worry about you. Thanks. Is that a yes? I've seen that place. It's a fortress. Except that's not entirely true. There may be a wall all the way around, but the spikes stop beside the garage. If you climb up there directly under Will's window, you could be up and over in seconds. I don't want you to break in. Only an idiot would do that. But they keep their curtains open. I just want you to look closer. If they had anything to hide, it wouldn't be out when I was there. That doesn't mean it's always hidden. At first, I only wanted Jane and Chris out of their comfort zone, but this is an opportunity. They'll be out of the house, and I can't waste that. They don't look like the kind of people who leave a key under the mat. When they go out, the blue light of the burglar alarm dances from left to right and back again. But if you live behind an electric gate, you might not be so quick to tidy away your truth. If I could do it, I would. But I can't disappear from a meal I invited them to. Zach's my only chance. What if I get caught? Don't. I can literally hear him thinking down the phone, and eventually he says, if you're right, and this is something serious, I want proper credit. None of this, I solved it on my own crap. Equal partners. Deal. What we both know is that Zach has always dreamed of being a hero. That's why he has a do-over diary, to transform a boring life into a brilliant one. For one night, he won't have to write it, unless something goes wrong. Do they have any pets? Nope. Security lights? Just the spotlights. They come on after dark, so stay close to the house. Tripwire? What do you think this is? No, they don't have tripwire. Zach snorts and says, if I was hiding something, I'd have them. Then it would be pretty obvious, wouldn't it? Their house looks normal. Absolutely massive, but normal. There are no tripwires or trapdoors or laser rooms. That's why I think getting over the wall is key. They have patio doors at the back and windows at both sides and the front. Look closely and take pictures, and if anything seems weird, it probably is. Zach sighs, and for a moment, I think he's changed his mind. I wouldn't blame him. I'm getting carried away, but eventually he says, okay. That's it? If it shuts you up, yes, you enjoy your dinner party with your sort of but not really girlfriend and her potentially psycho family, and I'll try not to spike my privates. Thank you. Zach doesn't say anything for a while, then sighs. I know the stick figures are proper creepy, and Amy's a bit odd, but how far are you prepared to take this? There is something, I reply. I'm certain there is. You know I love you, Tom, but this is starting to feel a bit much. I know what he means. I'm not daft enough to think this is normal behavior, but too many things have happened for it to be just one big coincidence. I'll do it. Zach says, but only if you agree that if we're no closer to answers after Saturday, you'll quit. Deal.